Hello and welcome. This is View from the Top. I am Modele Sharafa Yusuf. From urban centers to remote corners of the earth, at the depths of the oceans to space, humanity has always sought to transcend barriers, overcome challenges, and create opportunities that improve life in our part of the universe. In the last century alone, many great engineering achievements became so commonplace that we now take them mostly for granted. Technology allows an abundant supply of food and safe drinking water for much of the world. We rely on electricity for many of our daily activities. We can travel the globe with relative ease and bring goods and services wherever they are needed. Growing computer and communications technologies are opening up vast stores of knowledge and entertainment. As remarkable as these engineering achievements are, certainly just as many more great challenges and opportunities remain to be realized. While some seem clear, many others are indistinct, and many more surely lie beyond most of our imaginations. In Nigeria, there was a Nigerian Society of Engineers newsletter of January 1987. One engineer, Ife Akintoye, said, among other things, and I quote, "Nigeria is a huge accumulation of the technologies of others. All of our steel plants and oil refineries have been accomplished through the know-how of others. Nigeria has not turned out her own model of cars, wagons, and electrical gadgets, for example." This statement, made some 29 years ago, is still quite apt and vividly describes the situation of Nigerian engineers, which they've been grappling with for a long time now. And that is one of the issues that I get to discuss today as I speak to one of Nigeria's doyen of engineering, Chief Obafemi Olopade, who is my guest on View from the Top today. Chief Olopade, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for asking me to be here this afternoon.
Here is a quick biography of Chief Olopade before we settle down to our conversation. Born in Lagos on July 31, 1926, Chief Femi Olopade attended the Brighton College and Hammersmith College, from where he got a diploma in structural engineering. He worked with Wesso Engineering and G. Munsell and Partners, one of the 4 biggest consulting firms in England. Chief Olopade is an accomplished engineer, and for 8 years he was Chairman Court of Governors of the University of Lagos Medical School. He has also been chairman of many companies, including Mentholatum, ICPC Engineering, and Fay Paper Products and Fay Hygienic. He has also served on various boards, including those of First Interstate Merchant Bank, now Unity Bank, SC Johnson, and Nkalagu Cement Factory, among others. Chief Olopade is an officer of the Order of the Niger. Engineers solve all sorts of problems, and we're told that one of their most important tools is their own creativity. What other skills are needed to be a successful engineer?
Perhaps you would say I'm of the old school. I do accept it. I feel that to have a successful engineering practice, you must have first a good artisan, second, a good technician, because these are the foundation stones for the engineer who is at the pinnacle. It's a triangular shape. At the base there are the artisans, then the technicians, and the lone engineer at the top. If the engineer is exceptionally good, he hasn't got those resources behind him, he cannot perform effectively. It's one thing which is lacking in Nigeria. We have not paid enough time and enough money to train our technicians and artisans. I was successful in convincing the Chinese to set up a school in Abuja. It's not publicized, to train technicians and artisans for the Nigerian railways. So if you have any problem, you don't have to send for someone from the United States, from America, from China, from Britain. You have your local material here. I tell you a true story. In today's Nigeria, I'll be surprised if you have 50 first-class welders. If you have 50 first-class welders in Nigeria, I'll be really surprised. And these are the brains behind your power line, your pipes. And to get a first-class welder in England, you pay through your nose, because they're a special breed. These are people who would weld and the strip of a hair would not pass through a pipe, because the slightest puncture in a pipeline can cost you millions.
You know, infrastructure is a combination of fundamental systems, you know, like we know that support a community. And society faces the formidable challenge of modernizing these structures that will support our civilization. How can we restore and improve our urban infrastructure?
First and foremost, the Nigerian educational system as to the training of engineers is a bit thwarted. You have young, brilliant boys and girls who go to do engineering. They are mainly theoretical engineers. They are not practical enough. They are not practical enough. In Britain, many years ago, you have what you call City and Guilds exams. And City and Guilds would train technicians who eventually became engineers. And you see, on the job, they know what is expected of them, and they know how best to approach it, because they've rolled their sleeves over the years. They've worked on the job. They know precisely what is expected. But the engineer sits in the classroom for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, gets a good degree, but bring him to industry. He can't perform. I have got a few of them. I have now decided I'm not going to recruit anybody with a first class. No. I would rather go for a third class boy who is prepared to learn on the job. A first class boy thinks, I know it all. I took 4 of them to Korea for training. They left when they came back into, because I decided, listen, you must roll off your sleeves. Get your arms dirty, work on the job. No, I'm first class, I'm from University of this. I say, yes, you made a first class. It's not what I'm going to eat. We rely on certificates. That paper which you flaunt around, that you have a first class, you have a second class, or you have a PhD. We've known cases here in Nigeria, some of our colleagues who would design something and it's not functional. And you have a good engineer, you look at the structure, he'll tell you, look, that column, I'll have 6 bars, 1 inch diameter bar at interval of this. He has designed such a thing before. He looks at that beam, say that beam is 18 inch thick by 18 inches. Now put 4 reinforcement bar at interval of 9 inches. And if you do it on site, you find that that structure stands.
When the Nigerian Society of Engineers was formed in 1956, one of the reasons was for Nigerian engineers to be recognized and be given their dues. But it seems that foreign contractors and consultants still get given most of the contracts and consultancy jobs in Nigeria. What are the issues?
All that I've been saying along is that the chap who gets a contract from overseas comes to Nigeria. He recruits 10 Nigerian engineers. Out of the 10, maybe 2 can really work on the job. Now he has a time period. He has to complete a job at a particular time. So who delivers the job? He brings his own technician. It's more expensive for them. It cuts into their profit, if you must know. But they want a job done and well done so that they can get more jobs. That's the problem. You know, it's not easy for some of us to understand how the Nigerian worker behaves. The Nigerian worker does not devote enough time to his work. An engineer who is working on site, there is a project he has not completed. The Nigerian worker, it's 4 o'clock, sir. For God's sake. You have something. You have, for instance, you have to pour a concrete. They've mixed the concrete already. You want to fill about 10 columns of about 30 feet high. The concrete is mixed there to pour. You look at the time, it's 5 o'clock, sir. I must go. What happens? Do you leave that to solidify? On ground? Wasted money? No.